So I just take kind of the palm of my hand, have it curved a little bit, and you can kind of hit them in it. And again, I've made thousands of pinch pots, unfortunately. So I do this a little quicker than you guys might, okay? So kind of if you see areas that have cracks or whatever, just take clay, kind of smooth it over with your hand. A little bit, boom, there we go. That's close enough. Now, think about what you want. If I wanted something, these are my demos that I started, so they'll start getting leather hard. So if I want something that's narrow and taller, rather than something that's a little bit wider, like this one, okay? If I wanted something taller, I might start it off, instead of into a round ball, I might start it more of a cylinder, more of an oval, okay? So it can start in that shape. If I want something wider and kind of fatter, I would kind of smush it down. Start it that way, okay? It kind of makes sense, thinking about the form that you want. So you kind of have to think a little bit ahead, all right? So, next step. Got the ball made the way I want it. I'm gonna take in my fingertips, okay? I'm gonna kind of turn it with my fingers. And my thumbs here, I'm just gonna push down. And see how I'm kind of turning it? And just little turns with my fingers and pushing. And going around. You can kind of see how it's starting to go. You can see little fingerprints. Okay, that's because I'm turning it just small. If I was in a really big hurry and I'm trying to push and I'm making all these big marks, okay, it's gonna look all kind of jagged inside. You wanna keep it kind of smooth because it's easier to keep it even smooth as you go than try to smooth it out. All right, so I'm here, I'm going down deeper, trying to even it out. And good thickness, okay, just to be able to tell how thick it is. Okay, you don't want anything thicker than roughly your finger. Okay, 1/4 of an inch is great for pinch pots. So 1/4 of an inch is about like that, okay? And you can tell there's needle tools in the bin over there. You can take one and poke it through. You can take a knife like this. You can see how deep I'm getting. So I put my finger on the outside, poke it right to my finger, draw my hand along the inside, and I can see how thick it is, okay? Yes, there's a little hole, but you just smooth that in. So I know that's a good thickness down there, but the top is still really thick, so now I'm gonna work my way up the sides to thin this out. So as I go around, boom, just kind of squeezing and going. You could do it with one hand, okay? Just takes a little bit longer, but just little tiny, move your hand, squeeze a little bit. And I'm kind of pushing with my thumb and pulling up with my fingers because I want it taller, okay? If it starts getting out really wide, that means you're pushing from the inside and I'm stretching it out really wide, okay? Which is fine if that's what you want. But once you get it out really far, it's really difficult to get it back in, okay? So it's best to start it off kind of more in, and then you can always stretch the clay out. But once you get it out, it takes a little bit more to get back in. Okay, just kind of going around, getting this here. And you can see how I'm starting to get the thickness the way I want it. A little bit thinner. Okay, and again, this will take you, or should take you, a lot longer, okay, than it's taken me. And I'm smoothing it out as well, just because I don't want you sitting here the whole time, because it's boring. I get it. Okay, so now I've got a pretty good thickness everywhere. I can kind of feel all over. If I have an area that's a little bit thicker in one place, I'll kind of move it sideways, okay? Kind of start going sideways. I'll also put this in the palm of my hand, and then on the inside, I'll take my finger here and kind of go around and spin, okay? To start smoothing it out, okay? I can start getting that inside smooth the way I want it. Okay, so I smoothed it, I've got it as good as I want to get it. Thickness is looking good. Now the rim is kind of all bent up. So now what I'll do is I'll kind of focus on the rim, take some of the higher areas, push them sideways, and then smooth them back in to bring that clay over. Okay, if it starts to crack a little bit, you do the same thing. You compress the clay. So you go down on the top, push down a little bit, kind of sideways, and smooth. It just compresses the clay. And just kind of keep going and get that rim the way you want it. Okay, so now I've got pretty good setup here. If I want to change the shape, this is the time to do it when it's still really soft. See, it's really bendable still. So maybe I want to make this into a little triangle. I'm going to kind of squeeze these two sides here. Come over here, squeeze this side a little bit. Bring this one over here. And then I might even lay this flat down here, push it down, hit that other side. So I get a different shape. Okay, you can see how that's starting to make that shape. Something different, okay? I'd keep smoothing, keep working on it. And then what I would do before, say I've got this smoothed off the way I like it, looking good. I'm gonna set it aside, put it upside down. If you leave it on the bottom, it's gonna flatten that bottom out, which is fine if that's what you want, but it's gonna keep flattening it out. It's gonna get wider and wider. Pretty soon you're gonna have a real flat piece. Yep, exactly, just pushes everything down. So when you're waiting, your hands get tired, fingers are too tired from doing this, put it upside down. These ones are ones I did